Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got a bottle that I've never even seen in a while. This is the Rebecca Creek Spanish Oak. It gets so talked about online. I am just thankful to have a bottle. So shout out to Brian from the Bourbon School. If you have not checked out the Bourbon School, Brian and Lauren, go over there and check them out. Let's get it.
Bottle drop, bottle drop, bottle drop.
Rebecca Creek hails from San Antonio, Texas. At the moment, it doesn't look like they're producing their own spirits. It looks like they may be just sourcing new make and aging it, because they talk a lot on their bottles about how they age it, and it's aged in San Antonio, Texas. Now, they age it on site for 4 years and then transfer it to a used, or they call it second term, or used bourbon barrel for another 2 years, giving it a total age of 6 years. Now that extra 6 years, that extra 2 years is supposed to impart more of an older flavor to the whiskey and give it a darker color. Now, as you can see, this thing is super dark. I'm gonna try and zoom in on that thing. That thing is super dark. And it's also supposed to give it, like I said, more of an aged profile. It's not supposed to taste young. We know that Maker's Mark, Old Forester, I think Woodford, pretty much all of those guys age their stuff around 6 years, especially with the heat cycle warehouses at Old Forester. So you can get some really nice tasting products out of a 6-year process. Let's get into the nose. Right off the bat, man, that thing is oaky. It is super oaky on the nose. Almost has a little bit of that acetone note in it. And when I first nosed this thing, it stung the hell out of my nose. That ethanol was powerful. Right now, it's not coming in as hard, but it's still there. Now, you see, I have gotten it past the shoulders, or just above the shoulders before I pour tonight. Let it air out a little bit. I think this is one of the few glasses that I've had on the channel that does benefit from a little bit of air time, because when I first poured this into the glass, everything just punched me all at once. And then I poured a little bit more in the glass, let it sit for about 45 minutes to an hour, came back to it, and it had mellowed out so much more. Let's get back into the nose one more time. Oak. There's an acetone note. Slight hint of a citrus and chocolate, almost like the chocolate covered orange wedges. All right, let's get into the palate. That is so good. See, it's changed so much already, because when I first opened this bottle up, it reminded me of a Four Roses Small Batch Select. It still kind of does. It was heavy with the fruits up front, and then went into like a chocolate with a pop of citrus. I am getting now more chocolate up front. It's like this is so much a concentrated brown sugar when you get it on the palate, and then all of a sudden it still has like a slight touch of a citrus note, but then it gets super drying in the mouth, man. For this thing to be 6 years old, it actually drinks like it's about 16 years old. Let's get back into the nose one more time. Oh yeah, oh, it's gotten better. It's gotten better on the nose. Still that acetone note. I'm getting more chocolate in the nose now. Actually, the acetone has ramped back up. Now it's starting to burn the nostrils a little bit, just a touch. A little bit of a vanilla, a little bit of a spicy note going on. Let's get back on the palate. Oh my gosh. That is that is really good. Like I said, the first night it was super spicy. I mean, it burned like from the back of the tongue down into the esophagus. I was like, oh my gosh, like super spicy. It has calmed down so much with having a little bit of air in the bottle. This is an excellent pour. Really excellent pour. I am almost shocked because this is the first time that I've actually let a bottle sit with air in it, and it is this different on the palate. I mean, very heavy chocolate on the palate. I am starting to get those fruits. There's just a slight touch of citrus. When I opened it up the first night, I got so much cinnamon and clove out of this thing. I am not even picking up any of that cinnamon now. One more time. No, it's not there. Creamy vanilla, chocolate. Oh my gosh. It's that the only knock that I would give this thing is that drying in the mouth. Like I said, it's 6 years, but it dries you out like it's 16 years old. Let's get into the breakdown. So, the Rebecca Creek double barrel whiskey finished 4 years in Spanish oak, then another 2 years in second turn bourbon barrels. Is it worth the chase? I'm actually going to have to say yes, man. I mean, this thing has changed. Like I said, give it some time. Pour it in a glass, pour yourself a glass, maybe pour your partner a glass. Give it some time to get some air in the bottle, just let it settle down. And this is only over the course of one night. So I got into this thing last night. Now I'm letting it sit and get some air in it, and over the course of one night, it has changed dramatically. Is it worth retail? I would have to say this is a value. This is a value bottle right here. It only costs $60. Shout out to Brian for looking out for me. It only costs $60. And I would have to say it is worth every bit of that $60. I would actually, and I may have not said this in a while on the channel, but I would actually be willing to go to my 30 over retail. If I seen this bottle sitting at 80, I would pay that. If I seen it sitting at 90, I would kind of question a little bit, but I'd be like, here's my card. So it is definitely worth retail. Who's it for? Coming in at 127.8 proof, so almost 128 proof. I would probably say that this is more for an experienced bourbon drinker. The first night I got it, it punched me in the face. It punched me in the face, punched me in the mouth. It was heat all the way down. It was spicy. It was still very enjoyable. But it's calmed down a lot now, and I think that an experienced bourbon drinker would really, really, really enjoy this bottle. If you're a guy that likes that 110 to 115, I don't know, because my first experience with it yesterday was kind of like, wow. I mean, like I said, it punched me in the mouth. If you're a guy that's like 110 to 115, but then it calms down, like right now, it is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. You might want to give it a try, but I'm still going to recommend this for more of the experienced bourbon drinkers. Will it always be on the bar? I've got some inside information that there might not be a lot of this left. So I'm going to keep this bottle on the bar, and I might even ask for a backup. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out, let's get into a drop. Till next time.